So, how's the weather down there, by the way, brother? It's like 50 degrees up here in Virginia.
So down here, it's today was the high was 81, which is highly abnormal. Normally, that doesn't happen until the end of November, beginning of December. So I walked outside in the backyard to remove something from the dock, and the neighbor was out there having a glass of wine with her husband. I'm like, "You seriously have a blanket? It's still 75 degrees." I'm like, "You are a Floridian, Jesus."
Yeah, y'all tripped me out, man. It's like 65, 70 degrees. Y'all got on toboggans,
Yeah, exactly.
clothes.
Yep. Yeah, I still have shorts and flip flops.
Yeah, I love it. I was down there a couple weeks ago in that 80-degree weather. Yeah, just loving it.
It's
Come on
nice.
in.
It's nice. I love being down here. I was like, why did I live by the arch for so many years? Like
Where did you live before?
St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Wow. I got
Big
friends up
difference.
there.
Big
Real
difference in
estate's
the
a lot
driving.
different.
Big difference in the driving. Up in St. Louis, everybody's trying to get somewhere and aggressive. I wasn't used to everybody in Florida just moving along at 2 miles an hour, ignoring every sort of traffic signal that there is. It's kind of fun.
I'm good with that, long as it's moving.
Yeah.
So roundup, come on in, my rounduppers. Good evening, real estate homies. It is good to see you. I've missed you. I've had so much tragedy in my life. I did have my uncle just passed away too, so got to deal with that. You guys, thank you for your emails. You know I love you. I'm here for the people. We're nothing but servants, right, Jason?
You got it. I've been doing it for 20 years, helping people be free.
Yeah, free. I think the big definition is, what is the definition of financial freedom in your opinion, Jason, from your perspective?
Yeah. So for me, coming to you from my Florida home and my favorite spot to teach, which is my bedroom, freedom is this waking up and deciding that you don't have to do anything that day. That's freedom to me. Secondly, freedom is like everybody always worries about, hey, what's your net worth? And I'm like, that matters 0.0%. What matters is if your lifestyle is $5 grand a month and you have money coming in that's $7 grand a month,
Oh
then
man,
you're
we
free. You're
good.
done. Like no one can tell you what to do, where to go, how to be. So for me, that's the definition of freedom. Period.
My clothes are at the laundromat already. Hey, I'll be there to get them shortly. Please forgive me. Okay. Bye. I just Ronald Graham's like, you still wash your clothes? I'm like, no, never again will I wash clothes. Don't do it, man. Do you wash your clothes? To be honest, Jason, I don't. Do you wash your own clothes?
I wash my own clothes because I'm very particular.
What are you particular about your clothes? I like to know.
They gotta they I like certain type of laundry detergents. Got to smell a certain way. Otherwise, I ain't about it. Eh,
Well,
I'm
you
out
can
on
give
that.
them the laundry detergent that you want to use.
Well, if you're telling me, then I'll go to the laundromat tomorrow and say, hey, use this laundry detergent,
Yeah,
and then we're best friends.
that's what I have to. Anyway, Eben Pagan, I took some of his courses. He's like, man, stop washing clothes. So he get some. It's just a mindset thing.
Yep.
So roundup, I'm your pilot tonight, co-hosting with Jason Palliser. We are going to be doing some training tonight. Well, mostly Jason. I'm just the host tonight. And my mission to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. I was in Florida a few months ago. Got a chance to bump into some rich white guys, and Jason was hanging out with. He knows these dudes, so I'm on an email feed with these guys, and I see him doing some stuff, and I'm like, my rounduppers would like that. Jason Palliser, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to show you guys what we can do in the real estate investment sandbox as far as tax delinquent goes. So I can't complain. Down here with my puppies, playing out on the dock. No worries on my end.
Sounds good. I'm excited. So roundup, we're gonna be going back and forth here for a little while. Make sure you get your questions in the chat, and we always do members only, members questions first. Members questions first. So if you want to join the channel to get your questions answered, the membership is nothing but a way for busy professionals and entrepreneurs to get their questions first, so they can move on. And all it is nothing but a large Starbucks coffee a month. It'll cost you, and it'll help support the Roundup channel. Jason,
Yes, sir.
background. where you are, where you're from, all that stuff, and then we'll get to your slides here, my friend.
Okay, so a little bit of my background. I've been in real estate for 23 years. I've been in banking as an investment funding specialist and private lender for 26 years. And born and raised in St. Louis, live down in St. Pete, Florida now. Don't know why I didn't move down here a long time ago. I could go on and on about that, but like the big thing is, for all of those that are listening, I moved down here and the first tax return with no state income tax, which I'm not used to, saved me so much money. I'm like, good luck getting me to leave here. And on the real estate side of things, I've been speaking, training, teaching for, TV shows, Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad for like right at 20 years.
You've been trained traveling for his outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they'll hire me on a weekend to speak on a particular subject and train.
Sweet.
Anywhere 50, 100, 250 people, and just help them be free. But fast forward, so I've been doing that a long time, investing myself, probably do 10 to 15 deals a month in my former primary home of St. Louis, that area, and built a real estate automation software company you mentioned before we came on, REI Blackbook. So built that company, sold it.
Exit. You hit exit.
I exited. That's right. And so about 6 months after exiting, now I didn't get 300 support emails a day anymore, which was cool. And went to my team and said, hey, to come full circle with everybody here. So, hey, what if we start building off-market blueprints? Because for the last 10 to 15 years, we've been building what we call a off-market blueprint for hedge funds to grab deals in a particular city 34 ways. So we started doing that. And what I quickly realized, Kris, in doing that is that there was one technique that when we get our hands on an investor that over and over, they're like, okay, that technique, I haven't even done it yet. You just taught me what you spent 6 years perfecting. And I already know I'm going to take over my marketplace. And that's tax delinquent properties, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. So in a nutshell, that's kind of, going from investment banking to investing myself, then all these TV shows and stuff hire me for my expertise on lead generation and deal structure. And then hedge funds came calling saying, hey, we need to average 40, 50 homes a month. And we heard you're the guy that gets to everything first. So started building out that stuff. And then once we sold REI Blackbook, and now I'm here with you saying, hey, we do it for individuals now. And everybody that we get our hands on that we do what we call build out for, they're like, okay, this tax delinquent's insane. So that's kind of in a full circle. I'm down in Florida, having fun, teaching you from my bed, which is my favorite spot. I feel safe. I feel like I can explode information from this spot. It's my favorite spot. My wife's like, are you coming out of that room? I'm like, no, I'm solving things.
Working in the bedroom.
That's right.
All right, brother. I'm so excited. Huh? Yeah, you're right. I do it too. Yeah, right there online. I got to tell you, some of my best leads and deals that I've closed been from tax delinquents. I mean, the motivation is just super high. People are willing to work with you because from my experience, they're like, man, what do I do? So I'm excited to hear from this.
Yeah, exactly. So couldn't agree with you more. It's like one of the highest levels, and we'll get into it, but the highest levels of motivation that there is from a homeowner. So for those of you listening and learning tonight, I'm going to teach you a few things. The one thing that I want to lay the foundation on is that no matter what you do in real estate investment, this needs to be one of your favorite sandboxes to play in because they're the highest level of motivation that I've seen in thousands of transactions.
Wow. All right. Let's do it, brother. Round up, get your questions in, anything over there in comments. Once again, with Jason Palliser going over this tax delinquent real estate, one of my favorite ways to do deals.
Okay. So I'm going to start walking you through it right now. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen.
Let's do it. Yep.
Ready to roll for everybody.
What up, Enlightenment? How y'all doing?
And chime in with anything that you want, Kris.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Smitty's here. What up, Smitty?
Okay, before we get the ball rolling, you can see it just fine, right, Kris?
Yeah, it looks good to me. You're looking real smooth, bro.
So are you. Okay, so everybody here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through. I'm a firm believer in not just, okay, hey, get your pens ready and I'm going to teach you some stuff, which is going to happen. But I'm also a firm believer in laying the foundation of why. So we're going to go through tax delinquent properties, and I'm going to talk to you about how do we get these motivated leads that aren't on the MLS that actually beg you for help. If you do this the right way, they beg you for help. So
Sweet.
having said that, let's start getting into it. But I'm going to lay the foundation of why these are the best leads of all time as well, because then it gives you real marching orders. So here we go. So who's this for? I've been doing it 26 years. You've been doing it a long time. I always tell everybody this. It doesn't matter to me if you're getting ready to do your first deal or if you've been investing for a little bit and you want to close more deals, or maybe you're just considering real estate. Doesn't matter if you're doing a lot of deals getting started. It's always good to sharpen your knowledge and bring into a new skill set into your business. So it doesn't matter where you're at in that spectrum. We're here to help you, and this is for you. Now, on this training, as I said before, you're going to clearly see why it's the greatest lead source of all time, and that why you should never buy a list of distressed homeowners and just mail to them saying, I'll pay cash for your house ever again. That drives me crazy. All the gurus in guru land. Hey, get this list, get this vacant list, get this high equity list, and let's just mail and be consistent. And there's a much better way to do this. I call that stuff where you just get a list and then just throw your marketing dollars out there and direct mail and text messages. I call that the spray and pray method. And that's what most of the gurus do. Just grab a list and be consistent. We're going to show you stuff that's well beyond that, and how we literally hunt in the sandbox like snipers.
Sweet.
But remember what I said, laying the foundation. We're helping desperate homeowners, and you're getting paid well to do it. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk to you about how literally you can bypass everybody in your marketplace. So whatever city you're in, once you see what we do, you're going to do this in multiple places, because not only your city, if you know that you can bypass everybody and win the game, then you're going to do it in multiple places. And if you follow exactly what we're going to teach you to do, then the fun part is investing doesn't have to feel hard, right? It doesn't have to feel hard. You don't got to chase down sellers, and you actually start attracting people that are begging you to help them. And the way that we do it is with an exclusive inbound lead gen formula that we're going to show you how we do this. And the fun part for me is that these leads, you're not going to find these anywhere on the MLS, and it's free. And the biggest thing that I want to drive a spike in the ground so that we're on the same page is that these homeowners need your help right now. And they're willing, as you mentioned, Kris, they're willing to sell their property at a significant discount, and you're going to see why. So essentially what we're putting in place is, how can you just start stacking extra closings, making 5 figures per month, and eliminate all this guesswork and wasting time or money where the gurus just tell you to be consistent, which is probably my biggest pet peeve in 20 something years of teaching, is just be consistent. Well, no joke, but there's a better way to do it. And if you stay on, I'm actually going to walk you through one of the deals that we produced with this tax delinquent blueprint formula that I'm going to show you, where we made over 70 grand, how we grabbed the deal, how we flipped the property in 26 days, and we didn't even need a single penny to do it. So as we teach you that, I'm going to walk you specifically through one of the deals that we did.
Sweet.
Now, as you're getting ready to take notes and all that good stuff, turn off your distractions, shut down other windows and tabs, get in a quiet location if you can, like I'm teaching you from my bedroom, my favorite spot to do it. Grab a pen, take some notes. And I always tell everybody, take screenshots. We live in the 21st century. So as we get through some of these slides, I want you to take screenshots if that helps you get that information and save it so that you can try and utilize it later. And then pay real close attention to the tested seller techniques that we're going to start infusing into your brain. House rules. Again, I always talk in terms of pet peeves. Pet people this isn't get rich quick, but if you do this the right way, as we're going to teach you, I always tell everybody, I hate the get rich quick, do this. It's get rich permanently, right? If you do this and follow exactly what I've tested out over a 6-year period in 100 plus cities, then you can get rich permanently. This isn't push button and get paid. This is not some, hey, let's call hundreds of random homeowners like the gurus do, this worn out guru training stuff. All I tell everybody is this. You just simply have to be ready, willing, and able to help the people that need your assistance, because this is about becoming a problem solver on some of the best leads of all time. We're going to be solving homeowners' problems, and you'll clearly see as we put the pieces in place how desperate they are. And it's all about how you engage them, which is what we spent years perfecting. So here's the real problem. Okay, this is the problem, my friends. You're taught by all these gurus, hey, the success formula is spray and pray, your outbound marketing, plus, hey, you just got to get in there and get your hands dirty and just do cold calling.
Oh,
And that,
my Lord.
sound familiar, Kris?
I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yeah. So, I mean, spray and pray, grab a list, market to everybody, cold call, and you'll get a deal. That's the problem. That's what the gurus teach you today. So there's a better way to do this. The solution is this. Find super motivated leads plus warm incoming phone calls, meaning your phone's ringing. You're not making outbound calls. That's the real way that you can hit the bullseye and do this the right way, which is what we're going to be laying out for you. Now, what is the number one motivated lead source? Remember what I said earlier. I brought it up and just politely, when a hedge fund level clients, they hire us to do 1,000 homes in a city. And hey, we need 1,000 homes in 24 months. That's real pressure. I can't miss a single deal. But here's what I know. Out of 34 ways that we suffocate a city, and once we do a full build out for a company, the number one lead source is tax delinquent properties. Here's what I know. They're in every city across America. The homeowners are in a serious bind because when they've missed their tax payment, I can guarantee you that 100% of the time, there are way worse things happening in their life. That's what I found over time in thousands of transactions. Typically, the equity on these type of leads is massive. And the expert advantage here is this. This is why the level of motivation is off the charts. One of the biggest reasons is that every state in America where you're listening from right now, every state in America, they want their money. So what they do is they put laws in place to make sure that they get it. And so we're going to use that to our advantage, but I'm going to come back to that in a little bit so that I can teach you on a deeper level why that works to your advantage and what you can do to bypass your competition. But this is the number one lead source of all time, which is tax delinquent properties by far. And just to give you, people always say, Kris, hey, well, I have problems getting leads, and I always laugh because just this one sandbox to play in delinquent property out of 34 ways. Just look at your state here on average. Okay, across America on average, there's 20,000 houses per state that have not paid their taxes that are marching towards tax auctions. But we're going to simply show you how to get there first. So no one that's listening tonight has a lead problem. It's how do I get them to come to me the right way problem. That's a fair statement, but no one has a lead generation problem.
That's a mindset shift too, Jason.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Nobody has a lead generation problem. You have a what do I do with these leads the right way problem. So here's one of our clients. So after we tested this for 6 years and pulled back the curtain, so Darius is like, hey, I was hanging bandit signs. I wasn't getting what I wanted to do. Then he learned because he was one of our beta testers. So I want to let everybody here know, Kris, you're our second level of attack. Everybody who's listening here tonight, we had beta testers go through this. Darius is one of them. And he's like, hey, I simply followed your step-by-step tax delinquent, hit go on his list. A couple days, got a call. The homeowner needed help badly. They owed a lot of money in back taxes, nothing in savings. They're on Social Security. And so what he did following our Tax Delinquent Blueprint, he made $13,000, a little over 13 grand in 6 hours of work.
Sweet.
And got to help people, which is fun. But here's why exclusive inbound leads are better than the spray and pray marketing that all these places tell you to do. You'll never have to do any of that again. You'll never have to listen to anybody for the rest of your investment career. that says, hey, just go grab this list. It drives me crazy. I got this secret list. I'm like, let me guess. It's vacants, high equity absentee owners, water
Lord.
disconnect, and code violations. They're like,
Mm.
oh yeah. Oh, and then what? You gotta mail and just spray and pray and text messages and so there's a much better way to do it so that you don't have to feel like you're some sleazy salesperson on the phone just trying to pound people into submission. The other thing to where if you flip the script and these are the good inbound leads coming to you, you'll never have to worry ever again about if you can make money in real estate because these deals are heavy on the profitability side and equity side based upon motivation and amount of equity that the homeowners have in the property. And you'll have zero competition fighting over your deals because you don't have to chase down deals anymore and they don't know how to do this. And in fact, you'll find out later because I'll give you what most humans do and what a tax delinquent, what I call a tax delinquent blueprint assassin does that wins the game and bypasses the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So once you understand how to do this and attract these exclusive inbound leads, you'll have motivated property owners calling you, begging you to purchase their property, not you calling them and just hitting them out of the blue and they don't know who you are. You'll have homeowners telling you that they need you to help solve their problems. You'll never run out of deals and leads again because it just keeps coming. And you'll have the income and the freedom you want if you do this the right way. So a little bit of background on me. Kris, we already mentioned it a little bit, but again, 23 years investing, 26 years as a banker, and get hired by hedge funds. Say, hey, I need 2,000 homes in the city, 3,000 homes, and I need it in 8 months. That's who I am. I get hired for lead generation and bypassing everybody. We just talked about it. My favorite lead source is delinquent property tax. We have 34 ways we get to off-market properties. Most people know 5. And then the reason I still do this is because I love, Kris, we mentioned it earlier. I don't know if we were on air yet, but I love doing this to show people a different way to simply be free. I've trained 25,000 investors over the last 20 years, and it's why I still do this. But that's a little bit about who I am, what I do. But now let's drive this point home. This is one I would surely suggest that you take notes or screenshot. Why delinquent property tax homeowners? It's my favorite lead source of all time out of 34 because I get to collect all the data when we do thousands of homes for these big companies, and I get to see which ones win, which ones get us the most equity. So that's one of the reasons. I've tested over 100 variations about what I'm going to show you in 138 cities. But here's the one that I really want to sink in. Cement this in your brain. Kris, I know you. What type of homes march towards tax sale?
Tax sale, generally speaking, yeah, because the mortgage, if there is a mortgage on it, the mortgage company is going to pay the taxes.
Correct. So the reason this is one of the best and most motivated lead sources of all time, I mentioned it earlier. States put laws in place to get their delinquent property tax, their property tax, no matter what. So what they do is they put laws in place to jump in front of mortgages. So if it was Jason and Kris mortgage company with a $300,000 loan and that homeowner's marching towards tax sale and we're going to get wiped out, Jason and Kris bank would foreclose because we're not going to lose our $300,000 loan and lien position. So houses that are marching towards tax sale, and we teach you how to pare down this list, you're going to see in a little bit, are typically free and clear of mortgages. What does that mean to you as you're listening and learning tonight? That simply means this. That means that there's so much dang equity that you could strike almost any type of real estate deal you want. Creative this, creative that, just straight up cash offer because there's so much damn equity in these properties. And the fun part is that when there's that much equity, it's easy for you to make win-win deals with the homeowner. So, but like I said before, if they're missing a tax bill on their property, then they have way more serious problems than just taxes, and they absolutely need your help. That's why you have to be in front of them the right way, which we're going to talk about. And so what we're going to do is use state property tax laws to our advantage to help these homeowners that need your help. And regular investors do not know how to do this. And as I mentioned, as we started tonight, This is not tax liens, tax deeds, tax overages. We're showing you how to bypass and beat all of that. We're showing you how to get to these people first before any of that stuff happens. And so that's why this is so unbelievably powerful. Like I said, I always tell everybody I'm no smarter than anybody else, but when I get to use big budgets from hedge funds to test not only just 34 ways we get to properties, but each one of those 34 I get to test 100 variations of to see what wins, then I think we just pay attention.
Wow. Let me reintroduce you real quick, Jason. For people that are just joining us on the channel, what's going on, Roundup homies? I'm here with Jason Palliser down in Florida. He is in his bedroom, by the way, and he is teaching us tonight on tax delinquent real estate deals. One of my favorite way to do deals. Generally speaking, he just said that they do not have mortgages, free and clear. Jason, thanks for showing up, bro.
Hey, no problem, man. So yeah, so I mean, they're typically free and clear because the bank would have already foreclosed because again, a tax sale is going to wipe out those liens, and banks aren't in business to just throw away all their lien positions. So by process of elimination, the ones that are still delinquent severely marching towards tax sale typically don't have mortgages on it. And I always tell everybody this as an investor. Don't you want to wake up as an investor and focus your efforts on lead sources that probably are free and clear of mortgages and have the highest level of motivation? If you're going to devote any time whatsoever in the real estate investment sandbox in general, shouldn't you be focusing on the ones that have the most motivation and the most equity? I always tell people it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's two wonderful things coming together. So here's this is Katie and Noah. This is one of our Tax Delinquent Blueprint clients. So they hit go, and in 3 days after hitting go, they received inbound call from a lady, needed help. They stepped in and helped them, made 16 grand. And if I can say, Kris, so Katie, who you see there, she was in college. She's down in Orlando, and I've trained her dad a few different times, and he's got hundreds and hundreds of houses and units now. But he wanted to get his daughter into doing it. After she started applying the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, she went to her dad. Her dad's name is Dave. And she went to her dad and said, hey, is it okay if I cancel my college classes? And her dad and I are friends, and he called me and we were laughing. He goes, I'm not going to lie, I shed a tear. He was so happy that she realized, wow, I can make way more money than what I was going to school for without literally having to sit in school for years and have a degree and then go hunt for a job. So all she did was follow step by step to what we put in place. And not only did she make money fast, but she quit college, which, in yesteryear, that was a taboo thing. Oh, they quit college and everybody would talk about it. But she's making so much freaking money just following the Tax Delinquent Blueprint. And her dad called me over the moon about it. So that's a proud moment for me. That's why I still do this. Joey Chan, one of our Tax Delinquent Blueprint clients, he had a $50,000 June, and all he did was grab the list. We showed him how to pare down the list. We showed him exactly how to market to them, and he had a $50,000 month.
Sweet.
Von Treese, she's out of Atlanta, right out of the gate. Hey, follow the blueprint, and seller waltz them. We teach you how to talk to the homeowner, and I always say, hey, you're a Tax Delinquent Blueprint assassin. And she made right under 28,000, almost 29,000 right out of the gate. So why are they getting these deals? Here's why. So remember what I said? I'll slow down. You might want to take a screenshot, because we taught them, which we spent years putting together the program, because they became, through the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, a tax care advocate for their area. So basically,
so crazy.
Yeah. So what we did is, in a nutshell, here's exactly what we did. In 100+ cities, we started diving into what are the rules? What are the rules of engagement? On taxes, being behind on your taxes, tax liens versus tax deeds, and we put all of that stuff together and developed a program centered on, hey, this is what you can and can't do, and found all the people. We didn't just hit everybody that's a tax delinquent person. We pared down the list to the ones with the highest degree of certainty that have the highest level of motivation and became their tax care advocate for their area. So the fun part about that is this. everyone in need wants to talk to them about their tax care program. So everybody in the area, once you become a tax care specialist, wants to talk to you, because what do most investors do? 99% of investors, they make your life easy in the sandbox. They just get a delinquent property tax list, this huge list, and send out marketing to everybody, which they shouldn't do. It's just a waste of money, which we'll talk about later. But then secondly, they just say, hey, before you lose your house a tax sale, let me put some cash in your pocket. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And the homeowners are pissed off, and they call them. And that's why people don't feel like investing's fun and they hate it, is because homeowners are calling them pissed off saying, go ahead and make your lowball offer like everybody else. Well, they don't do that with us as a tax care specialist. And so we flipped the script on that. And we actually built out. So trust is built through our tax care process. Like I said, 6 years, 138 cities, no licensing needed. Some people ask us, hey, do you need to be a real estate agent to do any of this stuff as a tax care advocate? Because everybody that engages us, because they want to talk to us, they don't want to talk to, hey, let me put cash in your pocket. They want to talk to us. And we say, hey, there's 3 different ways. There's 3 different buckets that we can put you in and help you. And they're talking to us because we are the tax care advocate for their city or their area. That not even remotely a fair fight. So the seller, here's the fun part. The sellers feel comfortable, which I know most of you on here, if you've been doing it for, I've been doing it for 20 something years. I don't care if you've been doing it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, just brand new, getting started, learning. Here's what I need you to understand. Most of the time, based upon how people get off-market leads, and that's why people that want to invest sometimes, most of the time, feel like it's hard, but homeowners aren't saying make your lowball offer because we haven't approached them that way. They're coming to us because they're comfortable, like, hey, here's my real problems. Can you help me? Because we're tax care advocacy for their city. And so we show you how to become that tax care specialist and build that trust throughout your entire community, and everyone comes to you. So no one has ever offered them any help without asking for anything in return. That's where we win this game. Okay. And these are the most desperate sellers of all time. As I mentioned, I already gave you a couple things on why, but they're the most motivated leads. So where are you going to focus your efforts? So how do we get results like this? Let's pour into it. We simply use the formula, the Tax Delinquent Blueprint formula. 6 years of testing, 100 variations. We certainly didn't start out there, but this is where we've settled in, based upon me collecting all the data from all these larger companies that do whatever variation of marketing I tell them to do, and I get to collect all the data and see what wins. So let's talk about the 2 different types of marketing. We already mentioned one, which makes your life easy. Like, you should be happy that your competition does this. They send out
I got a stack, Jason. I keep a stack in my office. It's got to be probably 12 inches thick with cards. Everyone says the same thing.
Same thing, but they use a different color postcard. Maybe this time I'll get the deals. It blows my mind. Yeah. So they send the typical, we'll pay cash for your house marketing letter. That's expensive, folks. And it's high risk, because even if they do call you, by the way, and because we talk to homeowners and they tell us, they're like, yeah, I got 100 of those. I just pulled out 3. And there was really no secret sauce on why I picked that, because everybody says the same thing. So it's expensive, high risk. You're just mailing to random homeowners because someone told you to get a list instead of being sniper with it and paring down that list instead of just spraying bullets everywhere. Sellers don't respond. And if they do hit you up, they're pissed off most of the time because of the approach. They're tired of the text message and we'll pay cash for your house stuff. Now, since there's a high level of motivation, you should be doing something to try and get them to call you. But this is where people complain about marketing budgets when you do it this way. This is where they complain about, yeah, everybody I talk to is pissed off. It's the way you approach them. So the second way is actually target homeowners that actually need your help and approach them the right way as a tax advocate. They need to sell, folks. So when you do this the right way, we don't grab some, and I'll just give you an example. Down here in St. Pete, Tampa, in Pinellas County, there's 14,000 people that are behind on their delinquent property tax. But as you see here, at a fraction in marketing expenses, here's why. We don't even talk to remotely close to 14. We pare down the list, which I'm about to show you. We have techniques to go after the most motivated ones that actually need to sell. So what happens then, the byproduct is you spend a fraction in marketing expenses. You can make your money back in 30 days or less. And I can't wait to show you some of the returns that we got. And my favorite word, repeatable, and my favorite word is predictable. When a company hires us to do 2,000 homes in a city, like in Dallas, in 36 months, they hire us to get to everything first, and they pay a lot of money for predictability. So in this tax delinquent sandbox, if you do this the right way, it's repeatable and predictable. Homeowners want to speak with you. You're not making outbound calls and having people who don't know who you are hang up on you. It's the reverse. They're calling you, begging to talk to you. So what do we do inside the Tax Delinquent Blueprint? Remember I said take screenshots? Take a screenshot of this one. What we've done and developed over 6 years is that we use state tax laws to educate you and to use to your advantage so that you can become your city's tax care advocate. And when you do that, competition goes bye-bye. Okay. They're the most highly targeted marketing for real estate investment, hands down, best leads of all time. But the sellers will actually be calling you excited to see how they can help you. Instead of hey, just make your lowball offer. They're going to flip that script, and they're going to be, sometimes you don't even get to say hi. And they're like, hey, here's my problem. And the fun part is once they've spilled their guts and told you their problems, you win the game. So it's full-blown property tax assistant program, and we deliver 3 different ways that we help every homeowner that engages us. And they'll be calling, instead of the, hey, I'll pay cash for your house, and they say, hey, make your lowball offer, and that's what most people are used to. Here's what it sounds like when they call us. Hey, I got your tax care information, and I'm calling you about tax assistance program TAC 424 blah blah blah. And they say, hey, I need your help. So what happens is you don't have competition anymore. You get to let them throw away money on horrible marketing practices while your phone lights up like a Christmas tree because everyone's calling you. By far my number one strategy of all time. Now, I said, let's talk about what most people do, and let me educate you on what we do. And I think it'll be crystal clear for you. You can see the difference that you can wake up tomorrow and be doing this in a much better way. Here's what most people do. It's what I call the spray and pray method. They get 10,000 leads, homeowners in your given area, 10,000 off-market properties. You buy a lead source because you listen to a podcast. And you just market to those 10,000. But what we want you to do is that we want to teach you to start reducing this list. So we reduce the list. Every time we reduce this list, the level of motivation goes up. So they don't live in the property. Boom. Now we've narrowed down the list. Everybody else is just spraying and praying and throwing their money away. Then the next thing that we do is do they live out of state? So now we've pared down the list even more. Hey, they're having trouble paying their bills. We know because we teach you inside the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, here are telltale signs that they're doing this, this, and this, besides just being behind on their delinquent property taxes. So we've narrowed down that list where everybody else is marketing to 10,000 people because they've been told to be consistent and send a few text messages. We're actually spending 3 minutes using techniques that we've learned doing this for hedge funds to narrow down the list to the most motivated leads in that area, bar none. So where we want to be is right there at the bottom. So we don't waste money, time, or energy, Kris. We literally go after the ones that are most motivated, and we teach you how we do that. Here's Adria. So she took a list, as I was just showing you, from 9,000 plus down to 386, sent off her first tax care advocacy because we showed her how to get everything set up and certify herself to be the tax care specialist. Found a guy that was laid off, had no savings, behind on his tax bills. And as a tax care advocate, she helped him find a new place and put money in the bank, and she made 17 grand. And the cool part is she doesn't even live in the United States. She did this remote, following step by step.
Virtual.
Yeah, she's doing it virtually from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we want you to do? Okay, so if you're paying attention, most motivated lead source of all time, some of the most equity because the banks would have already foreclosed. So you have to be playing in the sandbox, but you just have to do it at a higher clip, a much better level. So what do we do to get to zero in and get the inbound lead formula working and the machine running for you? Well, remember before, where most investors have been taught, oh, grab this list and just start mailing to it and sending text messages. We talked to you about several layers of motivation that we're narrowing down, and we don't have to market to everybody. So we ended up at 800, but we're going to go even deeper. So then we're going to refine the list even more, which we teach you inside the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, why you'd want to do different bedroom counts and all this other stuff. And there's a method to that madness to narrow down your list even more. So now we're going from 800 down to 375. So your competition just blindly sprays and prays 10,000, and they freak out about their marketing budgets and how they've only got a few pissed off homeowners calling them. And we're simply narrowing down the list by design with superior knowledge and skill set down to a smaller list that we know is the most motivated of all time. So once we're done narrowing down this list, which we teach you how to do, that's when we go into motion. We send the tax assistance letter, which is a huge advantage. So we take the sniper approach. We've narrowed down that list. They get our tax assistance letter, also matched with our tax assistance advocacy website, where they can learn more information about who we are, what we do, and how we help the area. And this is not a fair fight, my friends. 87% of the visitors complete the form when they visit it.
Did you drive into a website there?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm envisioning. Go ahead. I'm just envisioning a homeowner. Just all the houses that I bought. I'm just like, when I get to their house, there's a stack of stuff on the table, and I'm just like, every one of them is we buy houses, and then you're getting this letter that says tax care advocate. Like, I don't even know. When I see that, I'm like, an advocate. Whatever problem I will be going through, boom, 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 advocate. Is that what they're seeing, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. So it gets there, and it has tax assistance codes on it. It's got a full-blown program of what you can do to potentially get assistance, and it literally breaks it down for them. And they call unbelievably motivated to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other cool part. It's buttoned up so well, perfected. It's so unbelievably powerful. One of our tax care advocates in Upper Texas, they did some marketing in another city, just like Adria was doing it virtually from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady one of the ladies that got the letter, once they narrowed down the list from thousands down to the right ones to talk to, she drove, because they put their office on their marketing letter, and she drove 6 hours to talk to them.
Man, that's crazy.
When do you get a motivated seller with a free and clear house to drive 6 hours to talk to you? That's how buttoned up it is.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So we narrowed down the list, and let's go over some of the metrics. Week 1, inbound calls, 78, from efforts of sending out 375 tax assistance letters. Week 2, another 19%, 71. So inbound calls total from our one move that we made, not 10,000, 375, 149 inbound calls. We made 23 offers, 16% of them. We got 3 accepted. So our average profit per deal was right around 16.8. So for those efforts, we narrowed down the list. Took us 5 minutes. We teach you how to do that. That's where you zero in on the best ones. In the best sandbox of all time, we show you how to narrow down to the best of the best. And for our efforts, we made $50,000. Mm-hmm. We deduct what we spent on our mailer, $390, and we still netted over $50,000 profit. That was a 13,000% return on investment.
Mailer, $390.
Yeah, so that's where you want to be, folks. And again, I'm going to impress upon you, we don't We don't take phone calls. Our phone doesn't ring where they're like, yeah, make your low ball offer. Yeah, just like, yeah, you're one of 100. Go ahead, make your. They call us, say, hey, I'm calling about tax assistance code, TAC 424, blah blah blah,
Mhm.
and can you explain to me your program in 3 different ways that you can help me? And yeah, tell us how you got in the situation, and tell us about your house because we need to make sure your house isn't falling down, and give us 48 hours, and we'll show you how it. I'm just kind of walking you folks through how this is how we take phone calls. They're happy to talk to us. One lady called and left 19 voicemails from within 24 hours of us dropping our campaign. She left 19 voicemails. That's how motivated she was to talk to us. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the perfected tax assistance program. So imagine being a tax assistance advocate specialist certified for your city versus I'll pay cash for your house. The
Mhm.
difference is they call us versus making outbound calls where most investors are frustrated and you get hung up on and between all the motivated seller calls. Like this isn't a fair fight. We teach you in the program the exact list that we pare down instead of just spraying like a shotgun. We go like a sniper for the most motivated ones that have the biggest problems that need your help. And this is well beyond any tax deed or lien strategy, which I mentioned earlier. This bypasses tax deed stuff. It bypasses the tax lien strategy. And the fun part is when you deploy this program in your market, like everyone comes to you, your phone rings off the hook versus all that heavy lifting of, hey, I know this is kind of out of the blue, but I was interested in buying one more house in your area, and they hang up on you.
Mhm.
Like well beyond that stuff. And like I said, you can't find a higher level of motivation. And we teach you the secret sauce and what we've developed over time, learning from each state and their tax rules and how they operate. And we built a whole program around how they operate so that you are the actual care specialist for that city that everyone wants to talk to. We have Tax Delinquent Blueprint clients tell us on almost a daily, if not weekly, daily basis. They say, "Hey, Jason, not only are they calling me ready to talk to me, they're also referring other people that need assistance." That's how.
That's crazy.
So what do? We finally um, pulled back the curtain. So we did this, just so you know, folks. We did this for years. We didn't show anybody what we do. So we finally pulled back the curtain to show people how desperate homeowners really, really want to work with you as an expert in your marketplace, and you get to make a healthy living doing it. And some of them, I'm just going to be blunt with you. Some of them call and they're in tears. They're like, "Wow, somebody finally saying, hey, you can help me," without leading with, "Hey, I'll buy your house," and blah blah blah. They're so appreciative to talk to you that
Mhm.
it's mind blowing. So here's how it works. Okay. So when we set up your tax delinquent blueprint for you and literally get ready to press go, the first thing that we do is we get that lead list of delinquent properties from your county and we pare it down. We teach you how to pare it down. Then we hit go on our tax assistance letter. Then you take phone calls of homeowners that actually want to talk to you. We teach you exactly the 3 different buckets of help that you can put them in, and we present those solutions and then make an offer on their property. Uh, they accept your offer, 35,000. So the very next thing that we do, I do 70. You can keep it for yourself as a rental. Fix and flip it if you want. I do 70% wholesale, and the other 30% is fix and flips or Airbnbs. So you get your offer accepted. You can sell the contract. We teach you inside the Tax Delinquent Blueprint 9 different ways to find the cash buyers in every zip code that you deploy your tax advocacy letters, and you sell the contract to your cash buyer for 60,000. Everybody agrees to a closing date. And then the byproduct is once you press go is this. The seller's happy you solved their problems because quite frankly, they were going to lose it at tax sale and end up with $0.0. So the
Mhm.
seller's happy. Your in cash buyer's happy because you're getting to deals that they can't even uncover. They don't even know exist. So they're happy. And then you get to collect $25,000 assignment fee. You're happy. And then what are we going to do? We're going to celebrate. And then because we have it buttoned up, we're going to rinse and repeat.
Got it.
Here's Scott. So Scott's one of our Tax Delinquent Blueprint clients, and I want you to read intently here. He pared down the list so far. He's like, hey, Jason, you taught me how to pare down the list. He said, he goes, that saved me weeks and thousands of dollars. And he goes, but I'm going to go even deeper down to a specific like area or subdivision. And he mailed out to 20 people. He got 16 people to call him back. And I want you to read at the bottom. 15 of the 16 people that called him saying, I need your help, Scott, were free and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Highest profitability of all time, highest level of motivation. And Scott pared down from thousands down to 20 and got 16 phone calls. Not a fair.
That's crazy.
Langston, one of our Tax Delinquent Blueprint clients. So he on this particular deal, he made a little over 35 grand. So what he did is he got the leads from the county collector of revenue. He hit go to a list of 877 because we showed him how to pare it down. Beverly needed help. She was severely past due in taxes. The house needed $40,000 in repairs, AC, black mold, not a good situation. She had no money in the bank on a fixed income. So Langston helped her find a brand new condo that she could afford. Beverly now had 150 grand in savings. And the byproduct is that as a tax care advocate, he got to help her. She was desperate for his help on the phone call, and she needed help. She needed an advocate, and Langston, in about 2 hours of work, made $35,000. Here he is, and I love it because he's like, "Hey, I'm not a check poster." He goes, "This is probably the first and last check that I'll ever post." Blah blah blah. Hey, I followed it. Just if you guys want to take your business to the next level, da 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 da. He simply followed step by step. All I want you to understand is that Langston said, and he even said, he goes, Jason, just show me how to do this because I'm doing this for my kids' college. And I said, I got you covered. Let me show you how to have everyone in town wanting to talk to you. Right out of the gate, first deal, 35 grand. Here's Grayson, one of my West Coast Tax Delinquent Blueprint assassins. He made 24,000 on his. And my favorite thing that he said to me, but Jason, my market is saturated. My market's tough. And I laughed. He's out of Phoenix. And I'm like, my friend, his first list, he pared down, I think from 10,000 to under 200 right out of the gate. His phone blew up, closed the deal, 24 grand, just following the step-by-step process that we put together in the Tax Delinquent Blueprint. And he's like, one of his other quotes was, I clearly see how you spent 6 years doing this in 100 plus cities. It's buttoned. He goes, it's buttoned up start to finish so well. So I always tell everybody this. You got two choices. Keep spraying and praying, go it alone, spend thousands, trying to figure this stuff out, getting frustrated. Quite frankly, that's what I did. Like when I got to test this using other people's big budgets, I was like, oh, wow, I thought that was going to work, and that didn't work, and this didn't work, and that didn't work. Wasting time and energy. I put 6 years into perfecting this. So go it alone, figure it out, or just simply learn from a proven system that's not only have I just done it, but I've mastered it. I have mastered how to walk into any county in America and become a tax care advocate overnight that nobody can stop. And it's fun when you're a national tax assistance advocate and you have a program that every homeowner that's behind wants to talk to. They want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about? The Tax Delinquent Blueprint. So what is that? What does that consist of? So here's what we want to do. I mentioned earlier, but now let's zero in on it. One, I said we had our first level of beta testers. So Kris, what I want everybody that's listening and learning tonight, I think you're starting to clearly see there's a much better way to do this than spray and pray. We had our first level of beta testers, meaning this, if you're unfamiliar with the phrase. We pulled back the curtain for the first time because we exclusively did this for big companies. So we pulled it back for the first time. So there's one level of beta testers that we said, okay, you want to be the first to do it? And we made them pay a lot more money to get it, to be because they wanted to be first to test it out. So Kris, everybody here is basically our second level of beta testers, meaning like it's the wild, wild west. You don't have any competition. This was exclusive to our bigger clients for the last 6 years, and now we're pulling back the curtain, basically. So what do you get? So with the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, what we've done is we've spent time putting together core multi-lesson training for you. So you'll get the 11 step-by-step training lessons teaching you how do you take your state tax laws and become a tax care advocate specialist for your area. And you can get through these lessons in 24 hours, by the way. You have the tax assistance help scripts. So your phone's going to light up like a Christmas tree. So we have all the scripts to ask them the right questions, because they're going to say, hey, what do I do? What do I need to get to you? They're going to be telling you, what do I need to get to you? And you're just going to follow the scripts. The legal wholesaling document portal. So on all the ones, when you're taking all these phone calls, on all the ones that you don't want to keep yourself, we're gonna teach you exactly. We've got all the documents in place, how to write a contract, become a solution for somebody, and sell the contract and make 10, 20, 30, 40 grand. The cash buyer loophole bonus training. How do we get all the cash buyers in any zip code? We have 9 different ways we get every cash buyer in any zip code you want. So every time you write a contract, it's already sold. And then the tax assistant marketing templates. How do we get that? How do we get our phones to ring off the hook? We have the exact template in place that you're going to use over and over and over. Remember I said predictability and rinse and repeat.
Is that template, is that a website or is that the copy on the letter, Jason?
That's the copy on the letter. And so we have it professionally done. And we already have, like, this is the level that we take it to. We've already got the people ready to mail it out for you. That's how disgusting we make it for people. Like,
wow.
Not only do we have the exact, you didn't have to spend 300 grand and years and 100 different variations to zero in on what absolutely wins. We have the template waiting for you. I just need to put your name on it.
Gotcha.
Now, Kris, as we discussed before, I want you to do, and you're going to see why I'm going to help you with some bonuses here. And Kris, we talked about it previously, but there's certain things that we want to make sure that we have in place for you so that you on your end don't have to think. And you'll see in a minute why it's in my best interest to make sure that we put those pieces in place for you. So one of the first things that we'll do when you become a Tax Delinquent Blueprint family member and client of ours is that we're going to go ahead and build out your tailored marketing pieces for you. And ours already also told you that I already have the people that are ready to mail out for you as well, which is crazy. The second thing that I'll do, and you mentioned it, and I'm glad you said, hey, Jason, is that your perfected advocacy letter for that city, county area? And I said, no, I said, yes, that's it. But you said, is it the website? So here's the other thing that we're going to do. Because what do we do in the 21st century, Kris? We snoop.
Yep.
People need help, and then they get a piece of marketing. What do? They snoop.
They
want to find you online. If they don't find you online, they find somebody else.
No call. You call it a digital footprint. Like if you don't have you're done.
You're done. In fact, you're learning tonight from online, right? So you're learning tonight from what people do. So since we know that, since over the 100 plus city, 138 to be exact, market sample size, what we found was this. Our calls, when we didn't have websites in place as well for them to learn more about us or you as a tax care advocate, that the response rates were like 2 to 3 times less than if we did have that. So the second thing that we'll do for you as a Tax Delinquent Blueprint client and family member is that we're actually going to build out your website for you that's an exact match of our advocacy website, so that everybody that wants to search online can find you. Remember what I said, when they find that online, because if they took that step, 1, they're already interested. 2, it's because you did something different. 3, I showed you earlier that 87% of them that hit that website fill out the form so that you get an email saying, hey, basically they're filling out the form saying, I want you to talk to me. I need help. So we're going to build out your website for you. So Scott here, hey, I followed the plan, easily laid out. After a week of going through the training, found a deal. And so he sold this one for a little under 25 grand, took him less than 30 days to do. All he did was follow step by step. He was through the lessons. Literally, he was through the lessons in 24 hours, and already our team was already building out his website. Our team was already getting his letters ready to go, and then we already had the people ready to mail his stuff out the door. Less than 30 days, 24 grand.
That's Texas.
The third thing, remember I said it might be in our best interest to make sure that we have all these things in place for you. That's why I said, hey, we'll do these bonuses for you. It's in our best interest too, because as you see right here, you can submit deals to us. I repeat, thousands of transactions in, doing this all over the United States. We will do joint venture partnering with you, meaning you may run across a deal that you want to do, but you don't have the ability to do for whatever reason. We have a joint venture deal portal for you, meaning this: you can put it into our portal, and it's literally in front of our eyeballs, and then we're working with you to try and get the deal to the finish line as a joint venture. So it's in our best interest to make sure that not only you're doing it right, that you are the tax care advocate for your area, and that everything's set up perfectly, that everybody can find you online, because it's in our best interest, because we may end up doing deals with you, which is one of the most fun things for me. So when somebody comes to Tax Delinquent Blueprint client and we get to do deals with them, it's a win-win-win across the board. So here's Charles Smith. Hey, this is the fourth check since February. So he simply followed what we put out for him. We had all the lessons in place. We had his daily operations map that he ran through to run this like a full-blown business. And here's just one of the 4 checks that he's got, right under $15,000 by literally. And he said, hey, I also need some help getting. So remember what I said, if you have the keys to the castle to do this better than everybody else, as you see in his post here in our private Facebook group, which you'll also be in. You'll be in a private Facebook group where we'll all help each other. He's like, hey, I need help expanding to my next city and my next city and my next city. So what are you getting as a Tax Delinquent Blueprint client? I already said that you've already got the 11 video lessons that you can get through in 24 hours. Tax assistance scripts, wholesaling document portal, how to find all the cash buyers if you just want to unload the contract that you wrote. But we'll also build out your marketing template and get that ready to go. We'll also build out the marketing pieces and your website, and you can also do deal submission with us. Now we're above $7 grand. Remember what I said? You're the second level. Our beta testers paid a lot more to play in this sandbox because, again, we just started showing people how do we do this, because I've been asked for years, how do you bypass everybody? How do these big companies like overnight start grabbing all the good deals? Well, I'm showing you my favorite technique of all time right now. So I was to ask everybody, what's like literally just in your brain right now, what's one deal worth to you? 16 grand, 17 grand, 28 grand, like Von Treese, her first deal right out of the gate. And I always tell everybody, what would you pay to get to one new deal closed per month? And let's just say the average was 16 grand. Well, if it was 16 grand, you should pay 15, right? Because you're still netting extra money. Or one new deal closed a week or per day or whatever it is. But like doing this with a sniper approach, that spray and pray where get this list of 10,000 and just be consistent. Those days are over. Much better way to do this. So if you were to wholesale a property and just net on one of the lower ones that you saw tonight, like Adria, a net profit of 16.8, and you could duplicate this over and over and over on demand, would it make sense to pay $7 grand to make 16.8 every single month? Of course it would. But as you can see, $7 grand, like our beta testers, as I said before, they're like, hey, you'll be our first 40, and then we're going to test everything out with you. And that's where we came in with the, okay, we're going to build out your website for you. We're going to do this for you. That was what the beta testers were for. So of course it makes sense to do that if you're going to make 16, 18 grand. But you don't have to invest that like our beta testers did. The fourth thing that we're going to do, because it's in our best interest, is that we're going to give you unlimited access to our Tax Delinquent Blueprint Facebook group. And so inside this Facebook group, this is where everybody works with each other, helps each other, and where we interact with you ongoing. So we'll interact with you ongoing, help you fine tune, tweak, on top of the deal submission portal and building out everything for you. Here's Henry. Here's Chris. So, hey, close our first deals, made 30 grand. Chris, hey, I just had a 50 grand month, just like Joey Chan did. All they did was get through their lessons as fast as humanly possible. Some of you will be going through lessons as early as tonight and deploy their marketing, take phone calls, be a solution, deposit checks. And lastly, we're also going to give you access to 8 weeks of insider coaching calls. So we call that our Tax Delinquent Blueprint Vault. So this is where we're talking to our coaching students and showing them, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Answering the questions, and we're going to pull that curtain back for you so that you don't make the same mistakes that they did right out of the gate. That's what coaching is for. So we're going to give you access to that as well. So what are we talking about now? Everything that I mentioned and unlimited access to our Tax Delinquent Blueprint private Facebook group, because we're going to add you on as Tax Delinquent Blueprint family members, and also 8 weeks of insider coaching calls. Now we're approaching 11 grand. You didn't have to test it out over 6 years. You didn't have to spend 300,000 in marketing or 100 variations. We're zeroing in on how to do this the right way, and your competition will not know what hit them. And you don't have to take phone calls where they say make your lowball offer.
Jason, you crazy.
So we're not asking you to be a beta tester. We're not asking you to pay $39.95. So if you saw our Tax Delinquent Blueprint online, you'd pay $4 grand for it. We're not asking you to do any of that. So here's what we're going to do. You can get started now, and you have two choices. You can just do one payment of $14.95 to become a tax care advocate for your area, and we'll build out everything for you as I showed you. Or you can make 3 payments of $6.95. So I talked to Kris about this, and we will keep this open. This link here, all you need to do is go to noflippingexcuses.com/Kris, Kris. We will keep this open until midnight on November 5th. You'll be our second level of beta testers. And so as long as you do it before then you get a $2,500 discount. After that, it's $4 grand. So, and again, now you see why we're building out your website. Now you see why we would do your tax stuff. Now you see why we're going to turn you into a tax care advocate, because now you take phone calls where they say, hey, I'm calling about tax assistance code TAC 424, blah, blah, blah. Not saying, hey, make me a lowball offer. Total game changer. Not even remotely fair, Kris.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just, when I think about just the perspective of a buyer, even in pre-foreclosure, I'm never there to buy your house. Never.
Ever.
Always there to help. You got to think about the mindset of people. Like even when I don't know as well as you do on tax delinquency, but pre-foreclosure, I'm presuming is going to be the same level of stress. Either way, they're losing the house. So they're not thinking about making you rich. I'm like, first, I used to go up there, big bad investor, I'm gonna buy your house, give you. I'm like, that is such. And people ask me all the time, Kris, what do I say? I'm like, you are never there to buy their house ever. And that's with pre-foreclosures.
Yep.
So my mind is like, man, we got to change that same thing over to these daggone tax delinquent joints.
Exactly. So let's expand on that a little bit. So couldn't agree with you more. You can't be buying their house. And so what we did is we built around state tax sale provisions in every city and county in America. So what we did is we took what they put in place from a legal standpoint to take somebody's house and built an advocacy program around it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the homeowners are like, oh my God, you're the first person that's ever even offered to help me and walk me through what's going on here. Cause they don't know the rules, folks. As an example, that the level of help that they want from you as a tax care advocate, if we do this right and set it up for you right, is this. They don't know that in St. Louis, when you're 3 years behind on your taxes on January 1st, that you're automatically slated for tax sale in August. And the tax sale list becomes available to all the investors on July 1st. and they walk with nothing. They don't know any of those because they ignore the letters. When they couldn't pay it the first year, they ignored it. The second year, they ignore it. They don't know that in the third year, 9 years later, they don't know any of that stuff. So we teach you how to become the absolute specialist for your area where everyone wants to talk to you. And how cool is it to where, number one, they spill their guts, and number two, they also refer you to other people that need help as well, because you're the only person that said, hey, here's 3 different ways that we can help you as a tax care advocacy. This isn't a fair fight. Like, we don't spend a ton of money on marketing. I just showed you a campaign where we spent less than $400 and netted $50,800.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't go to 10,000. We went to 375 because we pared down the list, because I know how to do that.
So rounduppers, I put that link. Jason gave us a whole bunch of. We were matter of fact, I've been on the phone with Jason's team for several days to find out the best bonuses for you, because you know how we get down, right? I just don't want to come on here just bringing the regular product. I appreciate you for doing that for us, Jason.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, here, Kris, if like we're having fun, right? So Kris talked to us. He's like, hey, can you give him access to your coaching stuff? And we said, sure. And we're like, it's in our best interest. Can you give him access in the private group? And we said, sure. So I will say, Kris had a conversation with us to make sure that when you join our team, that you had everything available that we have in our personal arsenal. So you did negotiate a few of those things. I will say that.
Well, I just pride myself for being an advocate for them. It's just irrelevant to me. You know, I mean, we obviously both of us been doing this forever, so I just try to pass it on. You know, and when you come from the heart, from my opinion, it's just, you know, if you have integrity, then it's just easy to do business. So
yeah. So here's what I want you to do right now. You've taken screenshots. There's a much better way to do this. You can go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow knowing, wow, I don't have to spend a bunch of money on marketing anymore. And I always joke and say, you could wake up tomorrow living in a much better world. Everything looks nicer, smells better, because you're not doing what everybody else does. Right. So that's in my opinion, how you bypass everybody else and turn this from, hey, I'm working real hard to get deals closed, to, wow, I'm taking phone calls and just literally crafting solutions for people. So here's the other thing that I'm going to do to make this the easiest possible for you. It's a no-brainer, 30-day money-back challenge. All you have to do is go to noflippingexcuses.com/Kris, and that allows you to get the discounted blueprint as our second level of beta testers, which we're excited to add you to the team. And then here's on your end, all you have to do. Just prove to me that you went through the Tax Delinquent Blueprint and in your opinion doesn't work. Sign up today, complete the course, which can be done in one day. Send out at least 100 of the Tax Delinquent Blueprint letters, following our step-by-step over the next 30 days. If you haven't made your money back that you put into this, then we'll happily refund you and pay you $100 for wasting your time, because I already know it's not going to happen.
That's crazy.
But that is my challenge to you. So literally, you can get in at no risk, because I already know what's going to happen. And remember what I said. This is where it becomes teammates and a win-win on our end, is that once we add you to the team, you're immediately in a private group interacting with everybody, and we're all high-fiving each other. Our team's building out your stuff. They're working on your websites. You press go. I already know you're going to take phone calls to people that are desperate to help you, and they're going to be taught, hey, I'm calling about tax assistance code TAC. I already know what's going to happen.
That's crazy.
I already know
that code is too sneaky, dog.
Oh, dude, it's great. Here, a full-blown tax assistance program with 3 buckets that we help you in, which we teach you inside the video lessons.
Yeah, that code.
And I always tell people this. I'm like, look, what do people pay for franchises?
I paid $30,000 for my Homevestors franchise.
Oh yeah, Homevestors franchise, McDonald's. Some of them are like $800,000 to $1.4 million. Why? Yeah. Because they have it down to a science. They have the system. They have everything perfected. They're like, if you buy this McDonald's, it's going to produce XYZ.
Yeah.
That's what we're delivering right now. So the cool part is twofold for you. One, you weren't our first level of beta testers who paid a lot more. 2, Kris negotiated a discount. Like I said, after November 5th at midnight, it's $4,000. So why not get it early and have our team, and you don't get the bonuses. So Why not get it at a discount and then also have our team putting together your marketing pieces for you, getting all that stuff ready, building out your website and getting everything in place for you to simply just start taking phone calls. Just a smart move.
We got some questions. Oh, go ahead, Jason.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'll answer any question. Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, well, just want to make sure everybody knows what we're doing. I'm hanging out with Jason Palliser with the Tax Delinquent Blueprint, just showing you how to get started. We're doing tax delinquent deals. The link, if you want to get rock and rolling tonight, I don't know why you wouldn't. I just spent, Jason, just last week I spent $6,000 just in training. So I mean, it's just part of making sure you're upgrading your operating system. So the link is in the video description, Roundup. I want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We're not done, but we're going to do some Q&A. Get your questions in there for Jason. I want to know what you guys want to ask Jason for doing this forever. I'd like to talk about this hedge fund stuff. How the heck do you do? Not now, but I'm like, that's been our competition, obviously, for the last, I don't know, man, 10 years. Ever since the market started to swing back up. So we'll get to that at the end after we do. Well, let me see. Question here.
Yeah, hit me with any questions you got as we go along.
Jesse wants to know, why wouldn't the people buying in taxes just list the house with a realtor? From your experience, Jason.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Hey, Jason, why wouldn't they just, if they got so much equity, Jason, wow, you're teaching me something here. And you know what? I'm going to go to sleep thinking I should be playing in the sandbox, but Jason, my brain doesn't allow me to move forward until I understand why wouldn't they just list their damn house, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the reason why. When they're 1 year behind on their taxes, they're embarrassed. When they're 2 years behind, they're embarrassed even more. When they're 3 years behind, they're embarrassed even more. And they have all these financial problems. Most of the time, they have so many problems going on that they don't know where to start. You would think that they would just list their house and sell it, but they're in denial all the way to tax sale, and then throw on top of it a level of embarrassment, meaning this. For them to talk to a realtor, most of the time, the house needs a little bit of work. And I'm not saying that it's falling apart. It could need 2 new cabinets in the kitchen and paint, and it needs some landscaping because they have some dead shrubs. Not much to the normal human like yourself, myself, no big deal. We could figure that out and get it listed. But they all think that everything has to be fixed before they could talk to a realtor to list it, because the realtor is going to go back and tell them to fix all these things, and they don't have the money to do it. So they live in the mindset in the world where, one, if I contact them, they're going to tell me to fix everything. 2, if I tell them I don't have the money, now I have to come clean and tell them I'm in financial ruin. Mm-hmm. So those 2 things working together, they just live in denial all the way to the tax sale. And remember, they don't know the rules. So most of them just know that they missed their tax payment, and that's not good. And they ignore all the letters. After the second year, they ignore the letters. So they don't know that at 3 years behind, you're slated for tax sale in March in Baltimore. And 2 years behind in Texas, your lien sold, and then it can go to they don't know those things. So what happens is they're in denial all the way to losing their house. But you as a tax care advocate, we teach you that in the lessons. Hey, when they call you asking for help, here are the things that we make them aware of, so that they understand. They told you their problems, and now you craft a solution. This is absolutely not even remotely a fair fight. But that's why they don't list it. Their level of embarrassment and financial ruin, and they know they can't fix stuff, and they think that the house has to be perfect to sell it on the retail market.
So, are you sure? Have you gone 50 states to help the tax? I guess the timelines and all that, Jason. How would they know?
Yeah, so that's in I think that's in lesson 2. So the 11 video lessons, that's in lesson 2 or 3. Well,
okay.
We lay out step by step. Hey, go to your internet browser, type in this, and then you're gonna have the 3 or 4 answers that we need answered for your county, and you could do that in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. We just need to teach you what to look up and what to find out, so that you know exactly how you're going to position it. And quite frankly, I'm glad you asked that, because once you've done that, once you've completed that video lesson as a Tax Delinquent Blueprint client, here's what happens. You go to the internet and you look up what we needed you to find out. The moment that your eyeballs hit it, now you know 80% of how to pare down the list, because some places are 4 years behind, 2 years behind, 3 years behind. So we teach you, based upon what your eyeballs just saw, how to pare down the list for your area. As an example, in Pinellas County here, 14,000 people behind. I don't need to market to 14,000 tax delinquent people. That's a waste of my time, energy, and money, right? So I know down here after 2 years behind, it's a tax lien sale. So I'm going to hit the people that are 2 years behind or more based upon what I know about my county, and we teach you how to do that. And everybody could get that accomplished and done based upon that lesson in 5 minutes.
David Rainey, hey David, looking sharp there, brother. Doesn't advocate mean representing the seller? Can we get in trouble using the word when we profit from the deal, Jason?
No, it doesn't. All we're doing is crafting solutions for the seller, and it has nothing to do with you representing them and fighting against the state. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. So you're good. You could sleep well tonight as a Tax Delinquent Blueprint client. It doesn't even enter our program. So it has nothing to do with you being their advocate and fighting against them, the state and the local county. So no.
Blonde Blue wants to know: Are we effectively a bird dog?
No, no, you're not a bird dog at all. You can work with us. We will do deals with you if you want to do deals. I would say that 90% of our Tax Delinquent Blueprint beta testers, since we started showing people how we do this for the big companies and get to everything, they do their own deals. So no, you're not a bird dog for us. We will do deal partnering with you. Remember what I said? I've been 26 years in high specialty investment funding. So it's in my best interest to turn you into a Tax Delinquent Blueprint assassin.
Bobby Nju wants to know. Great information. Yeah, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Does the program require you to market via an LLC, or can you use your personal name?
You can use your personal name. You don't have to have an LLC set up. That's totally personal preference. And quite frankly, some of these questions, and keep them coming. These questions are the questions once you're a Tax Delinquent Blueprint client, within 24 hours, you're in our private group. These are all the questions that everybody asks and everybody answers for each other. Gotcha. And so keep them coming. But that's what the group is for. So you're never on an island by yourself and you feel stuck, because you can ask a question and it gets answered.
Bobby says, does the website come with SEO support like Carrot? Got to run your own traffic. Oh, I don't know. Did you run your own traffic?
Yeah. The website is for your credibility. We're not going on. Yeah. Remember I said,
really, that's what Carrot, in my opinion too, that's what it is too. Carrot, I mean, it has some functioning features, but I'm like, people want to know, who the hell are you? They're looking at the site. They want to know you have pictures. I mean, it's really about,
that's what I was about to say. So again, showing you how to make massive ROI with less movement, less effort. Your website is there for everybody that receives your advocacy marketing to be able to look you up 24 hours a day online. But you're not spending a bunch of money on SEO to drive traffic to that. It's the pared down list that we're marketing to that goes online and checks you out. Now, since nobody else in your area attacks like this, you will start to get some natural SEO and some natural leads coming in on people that you didn't even market to. So that is a byproduct that we've seen and experienced in the various cities that we tested it in.
Sweet. Last thing, Bobby, got to get quickly. We've been on here for an hour 20. Jason, got to get you out of here. Recommended marketing budget. Oh, we already went over that. He covered that. Bobby, you can rewind. He already did that. Right, Jason?
Yeah, no, I mean, recommended marketing. I always tell everybody this. We teach you how to pare down the lists so much that where your competition spends thousands just trying to be consistent, you can pare down a list. You saw Scott Jordan earlier.
$400.
Yeah. Well, that was my campaign. No, Scott Jordan narrowed the list down to 20 people and got 16 phone calls.
Sweet. Kevin. Hey, Kevin, down in the South. He's in the Atlanta area. How many homes can I expect to acquire per month? Wow, that's a
it just depends on how many you pare your list down to. So across our beta testers, if you paired, I always tell people this: if you pare your list down to, let's just say 500, and then we're consistent with the way that we market to them, and we have your websites and everything built up, you can easily expect to close a deal a month. And then if you expand it from 500 to 1,000, then 2 deals. So it's really how many do you want to do?
Yeah. roundup in the video description. You can get rocking and rolling with Jason's Tax Delinquent Blueprint. And if you don't have that there, just go to noflippingexcuses.com/Kris. I promise you, you will not find this anywhere else on the internet. I've already looked. Look for the. I already looked for it.
Yeah.
You won't get all this book, huh?
Yeah. Good luck to, well, like I said,
Yeah,
like a few of the people that I've worked with for years, just so everybody that's listening right now, go to noflippingexcuses/Kris, get it and get a discount. You didn't have to pay what the beta testers did. So the people that I've worked closely with for a long time, and if it's okay to say, Kris, because you said at the end, I've done this for hedge funds for a long time where I get hired to do 1,000, 2,000 homes in a city, put together the off-market system. I attack cities 34 ways, my friends. I'm showing you my favorite technique, but the reason I'm saying it is this. The people that I've worked with for a long time have asked me for years. They're like, hey, can you show me? I'm like, no. Can you show me? No. Can you show me? No. And so about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, you know what? After years of doing this, I will show you my favorite technique that I do for hedge funds. And so here it is. And I offered it to my beta testers that I've mentioned 2 or 3 times tonight. I offered it to them first. I'm like, look, we've worked together on different endeavors over years. I'm letting you be the first, but you're paying more for it. And I'm also commanding your feedback so I can perfect it even deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And so you getting it here after the 5th at midnight, you can get it for $4,000. Our beta testers paid more than that. So getting in now and no bonuses. So if you want us to have our team build the template for you so you don't have to do that, smart move, then go get signed up right now. If you want us to build out your website for you so you don't have to spend thousands of dollars setting up a website, get signed up tonight. And then if you want to be in our private group and get the coaching calls and all that stuff, then get in. Like this is the fun part is that you will walk around moving forward going to anybody that'll listen because they don't know what you're doing. They don't have the back end that we're going to unlock for you. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm a tax care advocate. And they'll have every investor in town, they'll have no clue what you're talking about.
Nope.
But your phone calls, hey, I'm calling about tax assistance code TAC 42. Now, hey, make your lowball offer.
I love it.
Win. Game's over.
I love it. Jason, Hall Fit wants to know if I choose the 3 payment options, will I have full access to the program immediately, or do they have to wait to the final payment?
No, you'll have full access immediately. Yep.
Gotcha. Jesse, what makes a difference than Bob Diamond's tax? What makes this different than Bob Diamond's tax delinquent program? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. So what he does is overage. They've already lost the house.
Gotcha.
So this is getting there first. I mentioned earlier tax liens, deeds, and I also did mention tax overages to start training. Mm-hmm. This bypasses all of that. So I'm glad you asked that. What's the difference? Huge difference. We get there first.
Gotcha.
We know how to get to the best ones and get there first and have them calling us, spilling their guts. On that back end, somebody's already lost the house and they've already lost the house and somebody's already bought the house. And now you're swimming through all those and title work and all this other stuff. So this is bypassing all that and getting there first.
Joe, hey, Joe, nice picture. How much territory do you get, for instance, like Chicago, Cook County? Is it by zip code or is it all one county, Jason?
Oh, no, you can do this. You can do this in as many counties as you want, my friend. So you're not limited on our end. You're not limited. We're just giving you the keys to the castle. Like if I'm being selfish right now, I'm going to come one step short of commanding that once you join our team, that you should do this in multiple counties because you can beat everybody
wholesale
by far. And the thing is, and here's where I expand everybody's brain. So Kris, here's a teaching moment for everybody listening as you get signed up. Listen to me. If you can beat everybody at a much superior clip, you should do it. That doesn't mean that you have to be an investor in those other zip codes or counties because somebody else wants those properties. Get there first, be a solution. And we teach you inside the Tax Delinquent Blueprint how to find cash buyers in any zip code. It doesn't have to be a zip code that you normally invest in. You have a superior way to beat everybody in that zip code. Then we teach you how to find people and unload the contracts to them in that zip code and deposit 40 or 50 grand for being a solution. Good question.
Sweet. Round up, get signed up for Jason's blueprint is in the video description below. If you can't see that, just click right there, noflippingexcuses.com/Kris. Coy, how long is the training before you can get started, Jason?
The 11 videos you can get through in one day. So you're literally off and running. So you can get through the videos teaching you what we do, how do you become an advocate, what are the 3 help buckets to help people. Because here's the thing, I had a person just go, okay, I'm going to be a tax care advocate and try and figure this out on their own. Which I like their moxie, I like their ingenuity, but they fell apart. They came back and said, hey, can I get the Tax Delinquent Blueprint? Because they said, how can you help me? And I had no clue what to say. Mm-hmm. So we teach you inside your video lessons. Here are the 3 different help buckets you help homeowners with. And as a tax care advocate, it's so step by step. They're happy. Just the fact that you offer them 3 solutions that we teach you how we do that blows their minds. These homeowners like instantly love you.
That's so weird you say 3 because I always use 3 when I go deal with pre-foreclosures too. Francisco, is it worth reaching out to someone who's 2 years delinquent in Oregon because of the redemption period, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Gotcha. Deal partnering is great. Where do you find Pastor Kenneth? Hey, Kenneth, where do you get your down payment to close the deal, Jason? So we buy them, or you don't have to buy it; you can just wholesale it.
Yeah, you know, well, one, you don't have to buy it; you can wholesale it, and that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason we teach you how to find cash buyers in that zip code. So what I would tell you is that you write the contract, you wholesale the contract to somebody else. Number one, number 2. Contract. Remember what I said? I've done the longest, 26 years. Being a special, quite frankly, that's how I started speaking for the Kiyosakis and the TV shows. Is they hired me originally for funding expertise. So as a Tax Delinquent Blueprint client inside the private group, that's where you would post those questions. Hey, can you help me with getting funding for deals? And I certainly can help you in that realm. I've done that the longest, and that's what the private group is for.
Gotcha. It's Joanda who. When are the other $695 payments due, Jason? That's a good one. You didn't put that on.
Every month. So 3 equal payments every 30 days.
Cool.
So today and then 2 more 30 days.
Coy, how many discs come with this? This is an online streaming thing, Jason. They're not going to get discs.
Yeah, it's online. Yeah, it's online streaming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 24 hours a day, anytime you have an internet connection, you can be going through the training lessons. And by the way, folks, it's also built out in a daily operations map. So there's nothing for you to remember. You go through the lessons, and we also have an operations map that's literally step by step that you simply click through. And so you don't have to remember anything. Each step that we take, there's already notes staring you in the face so that it's literally ready for you to just go and not devote any brain space to try and critically think of what do I do next. You're like, step 1, oh, that's done. Step 2 is done. Step 3, and I'm taking phone calls.
Joe says, is the territory by county or zip code?
There's I don't limit territories. I don't limit a territory or county. You don't have to worry about that.
Gotcha. Well, listen, man, I've had you for an hour and a half, Jason. It's an honor to be able to not only meet you, hang out with you, my friend. So thank you so much for what you're doing for the real estate community too.
Hey, no problem. Like I said, ready to help. And go to everybody, get in, get set up, start watching the lessons, go to sleep with a smile on your face. Like, you will never throw away marketing dollars ever again. And remember what I said, biggest equity spreads and profitability deals of all time. You just have to approach them in a superior way that doesn't have to cause you to be consistent and I'll pay cash for your house and before you lose it. Like, there's a much better way to do this.
Yeah, paying cash is like, everybody's different. My thing is, if you're even when I'm coaching, and I'm not an expert on tax delinquency, but the stress, the last thing they're thinking of is they got cell phone bill, health insurance, car note, car insurance, lights, water. I mean, they got all this stuff, and then you're like, "Can you help me be rich? Can you help me get richer, make more money?" Is like, why would they want to even respond to that? Why would I want to help you make more money off of my demise? So it's just the way it's got to be framed up, man. It's just genius, brother. Thank you, Jason.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you guys on the inside, guys and gals. And
Yep.
like I said, get into the lessons. You can be done in 24 hours. We're off and running, and then you'll be
Cool.
in the private group where everybody's here to lift you up and answer your questions. And you're not on an island by yourself. Let's roll.
Gotcha. All right, round it up. So the link is in the video description. That is it right there. noflippingexcuses.com/Kris. If you want to get signed up right now, get to it. Those bonuses go away that we've been going over for the last 4 days. We're back and forth with Jason's team. Friday at midnight. It's an honor to hang out with you, Jason. Thank you so much, my friend.
Hey, have fun, Kris. See you guys.
All right, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the content, and share with anybody else you think needs to get this information to learn how to get more leads at an affordable price. I'll see you on the next video, rounduppers. Peace.